Hello, everybody. Oh, why is the camera doing that? There we go. Okay, I think we're live. Hello, T, Pepper, Selena, Action, True Detective, Candidly, everyone else out there. Hope you're doing well. Tom, good to see you. I want to welcome Catherine to the Last Timers Club. So, appreciate your support, by the way. Okay, so something I've been thinking about a lot is what if the realm wasn't so parasitic, right? I think it's an interesting thought experiment. I'd love to get your feedback on it. Would it be more difficult to detect? Because I believe it was in Monroe's book that uh, they were talking about how they tried different forms of basically different types of epochs. Some were better than others, some were worse than others, and to kind of fine tune the balance of the loosh or the energy extract, the creative energy extraction, all those things. So let's just say, for instance, you still have the human vessel the way it is today, right? It's the same body, but you have a different type of uh, governance system, right? Control structure. Or perhaps there's very little, right? But it's this kind of love and light or, unified type of experience, but yet you still have the human body. You still have pain and suffering. You still have the obviously the jerks of the realm, the parasites of the realm, that could theoretically injure you, your families, or uh, hurt someone, right? And all the various things that come around with that. So, just curious, would it be harder to detect? I mean, really, I'm curious what y'all think about that because I think like we live in a really unique period of the Earth realm's history, or a unique epoch where it's like so blatant and easy to see. But if the pendulum swung the other way, would it still be hard? You know, I don't know. I don't know. So, um, be really interested to hear what some of you have to say. Feel free to drop your thoughts in the chat. Hey, Mao. Hello. You can play. Jared, hello. Welcome. Asuka. Hope I'm saying all that right. um, so, yeah, I think it's an interesting thought experiment. But I also feel that if it was not as parasitic, at least control structure wise, but still had the human body, I think it probably would be harder to detect. Or would you question it because, or you be question it because it may be more obvious? I don't know. Just kind of running this off the top of my head, and don't really have anything planned to go much further with it, but just curious what you guys think. Let's see. Let's see. True Tech says, even with how messed up this realm is, most don't detect anything wrong. The Stockholm syndrome must have changed. That's true. That's true. Even even with how crazy and bad as it can get and is, still most have no clue, right? So that's a very good point. It's a very good point because for how screwed up things are, it's still very few of us who see it for what it is, right? Yeah, hot summer afternoon for sure here too, Casey. Oh, I did say your name right. Good. Hello. Let's see. You can play so then we won't be scared about dying. We will know we can reincarnate if we want. We would be educated about the astral realms, etc. See, no, I'm not looking at it from that point of view. I'm not talking about like that kind of disclosure. I'm just saying it would be an easier, you know, basically you'd be able to have, let's just say for instance, you'd have a home, you'd have land, you'd have, let's just say, running water, plumbing, electricity. You'd have all of your needs met. It doesn't have to be gluttonous or anything like to that point, but you would have your needs met, and you wouldn't have like a droned out society as much. Just be, day to day living would be a lot easier. Let's just say that. I think that's a better way to put it. But as far as, yeah, no, I'm not saying they would educate on reincarnation and choosing if you want to come back, and education about the astral realms. Not really looking at it in that terms, that point of view. Let's see. Candidly says, if the jerks are still controlling us, it would still be bad, but it would, if it were more utopian, yes, definitely harder to detect. Yeah, that's kind of my thought on it too. I wonder, but I mean, part of me thinks, I guess if you got the human vessel and you still have all of the pain and suffering that comes with that, and seeing others suffer, regardless of the utopian slant, I don't know. I think it still would be hard to detect. I agree. True Detect says, if it weren't this bad, probably even people like us wouldn't detect it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And Tom says, yes, if this place was happy and blissful, then it would be difficult to know that this is a false realm. Human Play says, people think they are their body, and the biological AI of the self-talk and automated thinking pre-programmed us already, so people don't think outside the programming. Very true. Very true. Very few do. Jared says, yeah, I agree with Jared here. Let me pin this comment here. Can I pin it? Jared says, I'm almost grateful that the parasites are so obvious. Totally with you, my friend. Oh, let me get back up here. Oh, I lost the whole. Damn it. Can I pin it? There we go. There. All right. Of course, I scroll back up. Anyways, yeah, I agree with that, Jared. I agree. I think because it's so blatant, it makes it easier to see. See, Tom says, just like having a dream, we want to wake up from nightmares and stay in happy dreams. Yeah, good one. He says everything should be free. You're right. I think, yeah. I mean, basic necessities. I think, like I discussed in the trailer video for the channel. What's the point of all this? We're the only species on Earth that come here, at least from what I can think of, where you're born into it, and you do not have an inherent right to shelter. You do not have an inherent right to like a piece of land um, without paying through the roof and going into debt and being a slave to the financial system. Whereas something like a bird comes, they find a tree, build their nest, and if for some reason they are going to build a nest and they pull up to a tree, and there's already a nest built with a family of birds, they'll pick another tree. And the whole narrative that there isn't enough land on Earth is just ridiculous, because there's so much land all over the place. And so basically, I think being born here should come with an inherent right to at least have some, like a plot of land to work with. That's all. I mean, it doesn't have to be over the top, but just the basic necessities. Instead, we deal with this this parasitic financial system. Hey, Robert, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Hello, Stephanie. Stephanie says, dream within a dream. Pepper says, I can't fathom people being able to learn soul lessons in places like North Korea, China, etc. Yeah, that's a rough one for sure. See, the way I kind of look at those people who end up in those kinds of countries, I think this is kind of my gut feeling. I think that they incarnate in those places, likely knowing that it's going to be difficult, but because of the whole karma scam going on. So, say they weren't all that good in the last lifetime, or they believe that they have to uh, go and incarnate in those places to elevate their spiritual growth, so to say, because that's part of the scam too, obviously. If they're buying into that and feel that there is a reason for them going to those locations and suffering more than, let's just say, some other country, then you can see how easy that can occur. But that, I don't think that necessarily would apply to every lifetime, right? The next one they might get a break because the system does seem to kind of alternate where you'll have all sorts of roles. One lifetime you may have be in utter hell and have a horrible situation, and then another lifetime you may have a big house and live in a more quote unquote freer country, or not many uh, bad things would occur, crime, whatever the case may be. Um, so, and then you can kind of have the middle of the road incarnations and then rinse and repeat, right? However many times each one happens, maybe a few happen in a row, maybe a few bad, a few good, a few middle of the road, who knows? Let's see. Seth says, I have an old out-of-print book called Memories and Visions of Paradise, exploring the universal myth of the lost golden age. That explores the idea of better times in this matrix. Right on. Yeah, what do you guys think about that as far as the possible golden age of Earth? I just don't see any support for it. Obviously there's a lot of ancient architecture around, and there was clearly multiple advanced societies throughout the entire realm that go back who knows how many years. One of the biggest narratives out there, especially like in the Tartaria, uh, Atlantis type narratives, is that, oh, because they had this incredible network, this incredible architecture, all this stuff, these amazing buildings, very you had sacred geometry embedded into some of them, all that. There's like this common narrative that's out there, and to be honest, it drives me out of my mind. They'll say that those are indications that there was a utopian society. And like, that's a real common narrative out there, and that one I don't get, because I just don't see any evidence for it. I don't. You can go back as far as you want in history, and it just the information is not there. Even small little pockets of utopian society isn't really out there. There's claims of them, but no real proof. But either way, I think that Seth, that it more than likely has happened, and it kind of goes to the point of the whole video, right? Like if there was a utopian side to life, so to say, and not this like overbearing parasitic situation that we see, then would you be able to tell the difference? I think it doesn't matter because it all kind of still funnels into the same thing. But I do think they did have these quote unquote golden ages, and that maybe there's these cycles too. I think maybe they might upgrade the matrix epochs, right? Different versions of the simulation are rolled out, and it's kind of like a trial and error system that goes through, and they kind of see which ones probably have the best retention overall. And if I had to take a guess, seems like this one is probably pretty good because, as a few of you were pointing out earlier, I mean, I think True Detective was saying how, even with as crazy as things are today, the bulk of individuals out there just don't get it. The large percentage don't even see it, even with it being this bad. So I guess if you're in the eyes of seeing through the eyes of the controllers, then why, if you're going to get a better product out of it, then hey, ramp up the parasitic behavior and see what happens. But no doubt that they must test various epochs and simulations to see what yields them the best result in the end. So always good to see us. Well, let's see. Kenley says, I have all my needs, but when I had it all threatened is when I woke up. Yeah, that'll do it for sure, Kenley. Seth Rake says, I think if we were living in a golden age today, though, my guess is it would be way more difficult to question the entire Matrix contract. Sure. Let's see, Casey Kelly is so-called Tartarian architecture a remnant of a previous simulation before a reset, and did that epoch not provide enough negative energy and the controllers destroyed it? Yeah, I think that's a good question, right? It's definitely remnants from a past part of the simulation. There has been even, I mean, look, we can go real deep on this one, right? Everything is a distraction right here. So you pick pick anything, and there's a distraction that's linked to it, right? So if you're setting up a simulation, and you would probably want to embed a historic narrative, a historic remnants in the form of something like architecture or spiritual texts and all that stuff, and kind of just have it all there. So you could go really out on a limb and look at it that way. I know it's out there, but hey, I think in the end it doesn't really matter. Right? I think there's just so much to, especially like about the flood, right? There's so many different cultures across the entire realm that talk about the flood. So it's cultures that apparently did not meet each other, and they're all saying essentially the same thing, right? So I don't think that the architecture is just backdrop material. I really don't. I think it's just remnants of the simulation, like you were alluding to, Casey. Okay, only my own voice. People would feel more purpose if they had something to care for, the land, growing some food, and some nature to be in. Yes, 100%. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, Jeff Field, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Says, maybe without all the indoctrination. You're saying something else. Did I miss it? Okay, so then you have, going to the next one. Not sure if you were trying to say something else, Jeff Fields, but basically says food should be free and shelter, clothes, basic things. Money should be for separate items that people buy with choice. Jobs would be optional and somewhat have responsibilities instead. as work. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, I can't imagine being a parent these days, right? And having to uh, grow up, have children growing up in this situation, and not really having anything to maybe having to work like 45, 6, I mean, not 40, I was like sometimes 60 hours a week these parents are working, both parents, and then you really can't get, even then, you can't get a leg up to help your family. So it's really sad. It really is. Just one moment, guys. What did I do here? All right, sorry about that. Dog needed me. Anyways, so yeah, I can't imagine being a parent these days, bringing a child into the world and with these conditions. It's horrible. I mean, I grew up in a time where, my parents did the 9 to 5 thing. Maybe they work a little bit later, but mostly 9 to 5, right? And they came home and you had family time, right? But these days, parents working what, 10, 12-hour days sometimes, 12 hour, 10-hour shifts, however many days a week, and they're exhausted, right? They can't even bond with their child as much. And then to make it even worse is they don't really have a nest egg. It's just the whole system is set up against them. It's sad. It really is sad. Hey Sky, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me take a look here. Let's see. The prepper says, but if some evil higher power had control over this place, why couldn't the good win this place back? Does it not have the power to do that? What a terrifying thought if that's true. Well, see, I think what we're dealing with is okay, my opinion on probably how this is working. I think we have probably a single entity at the top, or maybe a group of entities at the top, and they have created the constructs related to this place and the astral realms. And then, of course, you have us who probably uh, were have created our own things throughout our existence here in the Matrix, and of course started to or continued to believe in what this place was selling. So we were involved in it on a small level, right? But again, when I say that, I am certainly not placing blame on any of us for that mess. No way. I just think that it's a perpetual cycle system, right? Because we're all creator beings, we all kind of have our input in on it, and so naturally there's some involvement, even if it's on a small level. But as far as yeah, I think what happens is if humanity, let's say, um, gets a leg up, right? Say something starts to turn in our direction for the good, and we start taking back control, prepper. I think really what happens is the system is going to set it up in a way where there would be a reset, where they would not put up with humanity rising to the occasion. And so all you have to do is reset, and then boom, memory wipe and reset the whole system, and there you go. So it could be a perpetual cycle like that. But I do think at the top you have either a single being or more than likely a group of beings that just love this type of parasitic behavior and feast off it and steal our creative energies and all that. And then what else was there? So yeah, that was pretty much it. Anyways, you can see I kind of scrolled past all the way past the chat by accident. I want to give a big thank you to First Last for your very kind super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's hard for me to see this because let's see, Yu, thank you so much again for your super chat. I appreciate you. It says source is neutral. It does not care what happens to any of us. It would seem evil one and uses the light, love, and oneness as weapons against us. Yeah, I think if you know if a source or creator exists, that is probably exactly what's going on, and that's assuming it exists in the first place. I'm not really sure on that anymore, but I'm not against it either. I just think it's just middle of the road, like you said, neutral, and it's not worried about emotions and the parasitic nature of what's going on here. So yeah, I totally agree. If source is something that actually exists in the first place, but that's why I don't think there's any, even if it does exist, that's why I don't think there's anything to return to. There is no home or source to return to because I just don't think it exists. I mean, that's just what my gut feeling says. Could be wrong, but I'm not going to be risking merging with no source or anything like that. I'll tell you that much. Okay, I skipped past the whole chat. Hey, Harold, good to see you, man. Sorry, I lost track of where we were here. Let's see. Okay, Delina says different versions of humanity too, and this one is on its way out. Yeah. Yep. Different builds, right? Different beta testing going on. Okay. Yunplay says I have seen these people in lucid dreams with glowing eyes. They are lucid and don't want you to know it's a dream. Yeah, the glowing eyes thing appears in NDEs, appears in breakthrough trips. I've even seen it in some deathbed visions, visitations, astral projections. Jared Poole says it's just a big game of Roy. Koga says, won't an easier realm would create less loosh? Well, see, one of the, I think, common misconceptions about loosh is that it's all about, it's all negative energy, right? But it's from what we know, it seems to be both positive and negative energy, right? But it definitely does also seem that the negative is what it thrives off of. That definitely seems to be the case, but tough to really know for certain. But if my gut tells me they've refined this process to what we are experiencing today. Oh, stupid chat keeps skipping by things. Okay, sorry guys, I just have to scroll back up. I don't know. I keep hitting the wrong button and it brings me all the way to the bottom. Okay, True Detective says, being a mother is the hardest. I don't want to worry, but I see my children's future is utterly fucked. Yeah, but you know what, True Detective? They got you as a mom. I mean, that's the beauty of it. I mean, they've got a great true essence being on their side to help guide them. And they are gonna if anyone's gonna be prepared, it's your children. And that goes for all you out there who have children. Seth Rake says, I don't want a purpose either. I just want peace. Yes. Peace. Exactly. Jonathan Spalding says, it's why they never killed the internet. They need us in here, away from nature, away from people, separated into systems, divided, and yelling into the cyber void. Yes. Well said, man. Yeah. Oh, I pinned that. Come on. Why isn't it working? Oh, damn it. Well, I tried to pin it, but it, it didn't work. So I don't really like using the cell phone that often. But it's handy to have, right? Jared says, Mark, as a parent of two under 4, it's awful. I have no hope for the future. Hey, stay strong, my friend. Just because the future does look bleak doesn't mean that your children have to participate in it, right? I mean, you can provide them the tools, Jared, for a a better future, right? You can kind of inform them when the time is right, um, and instill critical thinking as like number one, right? And discernment as being like their number one tool to refer to, and with going with anything in life. And then you never know, like maybe stress the importance of something like a homestead, right? Something in a more rural situation. Um, that those could be the types of things that if I had a child growing up or children growing up these days that I would probably consider um, doing. Or it doesn't even have to be like necessarily a homestead, but it could be like you could have it homestead ready where you're instilling and uh, trying to encourage those values, right? But also still have some of the modern conveniences, obviously, like electricity and uh, having electricity hooked up to the grid and running water and all that stuff. And then, but in the background, you still have enough for them to be self-sufficient if and when it becomes necessary. And if I had to suspect, that will be something that occurs uh, maybe even in our lifetime. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Priest says we need to be higher than the gods, not Lushdan. We should be designing our goddamn universe and nebulas and shit. F the low life minimal shit. That's right. Gotta think bigger, right? Think bigger. Tom, you say you work 100 hours a week, man? Really? I hope not, man. I really hope not. True Detective says, being a mother is the hardest. I don't want to worry, but I see my children's future. Okay, I already went over that. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up shortly, my friends. Okay, Seth says, There are no higher powers. The Most High is the most within. Embrace the immense power that dwells inside you. Hell yeah, man. That's right. Oh, I got the pin that time. Cool. Well said. Yeah, Matrix Reset says Archons play both good and bad. Create the duality for here. 100%, my friend. Jay says many are genuinely essence beings that don't recognize or recall who they are just yet. Almost there though. Yeah, I wish there was more, but hey, it's a tough thing to deprogram yourself, right? And then just the journey of deprogramming, right? The funny thing is like when you're kind of early on in your awakening, you think like, oh yeah, there's this, I know this, I know that, and you think you're unraveling the program, and then little did you know just how deep it goes. Because especially after many years of going through it, you realize more and more how much you don't know and how much growth is kind of required as you move along in the process. It's a wild ride. Make says, in my opinion, these resets are a harvesting of the ripened souls. In my opinion, of course, I tend to agree with that. Yeah, I did a short video on that a few years ago. Let's see. Kennedy says the astral realm has many of the more utopian realms, and the beings are there seem stuck in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The problem is they buy into the hierarchical system. They have all the attachments. They have the soul group. Um, they have no pain, right? It's a different existence. And then of course there's the memory wipe too. So, um, how much is actually retained about the horrors of the human experience is up for debate. But that doesn't mean that they don't know anything. I just think it's just not as big a concern when you're on in the astral realms because you don't have all of the baggage that it is to be a human. So you're not thinking is clearly, I guess, is the best way to put it. Let's see, Seth Rake says the reset could very well entail a mass harvest event like what is shown in the movie Jupiter Ascending. Oh yeah, the Deagle report. Yeah, that's oh man, I remember running across that years ago. And then when the whole thing happened, I don't know, the whole thing that we had to deal with a few years back, that was like, wow, right? That Deagle report. Oh, man. I guess we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. I mean, if it's like total bedlam and chaos, I don't really want to be around for all that. Let's see. First Last said, "Hey, joined Last Timers Club the other day. Where can I get the Discord chat link?" If you can leave a comment after the stream, I will drop you a I'll drop you a message. Okay. And thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Inplay says, "Hey FC, I'm making video games and learning about this topic, so I make games about this. Awesome. That's cool. Are you the person on Twitter? You can play, I think, because I don't remember if it's you, but I remember someone was talking about integrating the Soul Trap into one of their games, which is really badass. All right, I got a few more minutes and then I gotta get rolling. Let's see. Although you guys are dropping some awesome chats. The illusion of source exists, Priest says. April. Looking back, so glad I didn't have children play the Matrix game. Seth Rake says, we are source consciousness itself, playing a human character. There's nothing to merge with. You can return to what you already are by default. Okay, just gonna scroll. Okay. Another super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Says, have you looked into alchemy, mystery schools, or the occult for a possible escape from here? I heard of gates and passwords. Yeah, I mean, I've gone through a lot of that stuff. One of these days, I'll kind of show you my book collection. I'm trying to get it more organized now, but yeah, I mean, I think really where we see a lot of truth bombs, at least in terms of uh, letting us know about soul trap, are things like Hinduism, Buddhism, Gnosticism, um, Cathars, all that type of stuff. But I mean, there isn't much in terms of any sort of secrets, right, to escaping. I think it's pretty simple. I just think it's our intention, my friend. I really do. It's being aware of it, right? Being lucidly aware of what you're in, and in refuting it, not participating any further. And when the time comes at natural death, I think it's going to be a lot easier than we think. I really do. But thank you again for your kind super chat. Okay, it's going to scroll down a little bit more. Oh, Jared Poole. Oh, wow. Thanks so much, man. That's very kind of you. Jared says, thanks for all you do, Mark. Grateful. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay. Wow. A lot of chat. Okay, I'll go through a couple more and then I got to run, guys. Okay. Oh, so you are the guy on Twitter. Okay, cool. Yeah. Do you have a beta of the game out or anything, or do you have like a release date? I was looking at your Twitter and I think you have like a Kickstarter or something for your game. Ooh, oh, I missed your second one. I'm sorry. Did I miss it? I thought I got the second one though. Sorry, I'm so hard on the phone sometimes because the chat's tiny. Let's see. Okay, the mystery school. Got that one. Pretty sure. Okay, and then the one was about sources neutral. Yeah. Okay, so there was two, right? Okay, I think that was it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more to give you, but yeah, I mean, I found a lot of I got a deep connection with Zen Buddhism. That was like a big catalyst for me. And it's like these are open philosophies or religions that, however you want to classify them, right? That are openly telling us that it's a soul trap in their own way, right? But that's how, they're popular for a reason. We're only getting limited truths. Nonetheless, still part of our journey, right? So, okay, guys, I think I'm gonna take off. Oh, let me just. Uplay says I'm still working on it. I have a demo coming soon, and all my games I make will be about this topic at different angles. Awesome, that's cool. Well, I will keep an eye on your Twitter a little bit further. Keep us updated. Terry says, I believe you missed my Mad Magazine quote. Yes, I believe I did miss that. Okay. Trauma says, thank you for all your work, Mark. I love the musical interludes, the beach waves, and choice of music. They lighten the mood a lot. Thank you. Glad you're I enjoy the music. I try to, yeah, I'm a big music lover, so I try to mix it up with some chill stuff. Or I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. Jonathan says Buddhism is the original limited hangouts. That's a good one. Well said, my friend. Okay, Lara says, you can sense that those of us that know about this circus show are really growing tired and weary now. It's so debilitating. I agree. I agree. I agree. But I'm gonna be doing another video talking about improvements on mental health and stuff. But I do got to run for now. But we're just making just ways to deal with day-to-day life a little bit better. But yes, it wears you down. It does. But stand strong, my friends. Remember to enjoy yourself too. Still, right? Really, it's your last time, right? So make the best of it, however you can. And I know for a lot of you, it's summer. I mean, where I'm in, it's obviously summer too, but it's hot as hell. So I get out more come late summer, well, early fall, actually. This is the time of year where I'm housebound a lot because it's so damn hot. But, you know, for those of you that have decent weather, I'm going to try to get out, do some camping, go swimming, and enjoy yourself a little bit. Do some walks, hikes, you know, get some nice fresh air and sun. It helps a lot. I swear by it, my friends. Okay, I'm gonna run. So gameplay says I hope to make a VR game soon and theme it around NDEs. Damn, that would be badass. I'd definitely like to check that one out. Casey says thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate some good stuff in here today. All great ideas and thoughts, everyone. Thanks all. Let's see. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jared. Candidly, Interdimensional Cat. Hey, good to see you, my friend. True Detective. Everybody out there. Hope you do well. Seth, Terry. We'll see you all again soon. Prepper, Dusty. Hey, good to see you, man. Aaron, hello, hello. Okay, take care, Tom. D, good to see you, D. Take care. All right. Much love, my friends, and we will see each other again soon. I'm gonna do one on I mean it's a lot of stuff I already talked about, but things just to kind of help with mental health and some things that I've done and still do to help me, and they work. They really do. So just stay tuned. I'll do that video in the next few days. This is kind of like a spur of the moment thing, and I'll do another one this week, and we'll talk more about it. All right. So hang in there, my friends. Don't work too hard, and we'll see each other again soon. Thank you, everybody who sent super chats as well. It's very kind of you. Appreciate it, and we'll see each other soon. Thanks again. Much love.